Yo, yo, yo. What up, what up, what up, my betting family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of March 16th, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe, man. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 500 subscribers, and we're less than 30 subscribers away. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. But we want to keep this train rolling to 500 subscribers, to 1,000, and so on and so forth. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I'm going to be bringing out my top 4 picks for tonight's NBA slate of games. We got a small slate tonight, only 5 games. But just to do a quick recap of yesterday's slips that I did submit, it was all around a good day. As you guys could see, one of these slips here, we were able to go 5-1 with D'Angelo Russell being the lone one missing. We had him over 29.5 points and assists. He comes up short with only 25. Then we had this other slip here, another 5-1. Donovan Mitchell comes up short with only 21 points out of the 27 that we needed. But the rest of the guys were able to get it done. And then the picks that we did post on yesterday's video, we were only able to go 3-3, another neutral day. As you guys could see, Embiid crushed his rebounding prop. Paul George did the same with his assist prop, and Nikola Vucevic was able to get his over with 34 points and rebounds. Now, the ones that weren't able to hit, we had Jason Tatum, another rough game for him. I don't think he even made a three. I think he was like 0 for 8, 0 for 9, somewhere around there. Only ends up with 22. We had Bam Adebayo, ends right on the hook with 8. This one, it was another disappointing one just because he played the last 3 minutes of the third quarter and pretty much half of the fourth quarter with 8 rebounds and wasn't able to get another single rebound in that time that he did play. This game was pretty much a blowout. They were up by 20 plus going into the fourth quarter. So he did get his playing time at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and we needed him to just grab one more rebound. But again, he ends up right on the hook with 8. And then Draymond Green deals with some foul trouble, ends with 5 fouls in the game, and comes up short with only 21 PRAs as we needed 23. So an all-around day, it was a good day, but for the picks that we did post, it was a neutral day, only 3-3. But let's go ahead and hop into my top 4 picks of tonight's NBA slate of games. For my first pick, I'm going to be sticking to I'm going to be going to the points category. And I'm going to be going down to the Nets and Sacramento game. This is the only prop that they have up for that game. And I'm going to be taking Mikal Bridges, a.k.a. Brooklyn Bridges, over 25.5 points. Now, as you guys can see over his last 5, he's been up and down. He is averaging 26.6 over his last 5, but he's only hit the over in 3 out of those 5 games. One of the games he did end up on the hook against Denver with 25, and the one against Milwaukee, he just ends up with 10 points. Now, like I mentioned, tonight they're going to be going up against the Kings. The Kings are on the second night of a back-to-back. But overall, over the last 7 games, the Kings are allowing the 3rd most points per game to opposing shooting guards. And as we know, ever since Bridges was traded to the Nets, he has pretty much been their number one options. He's been crushing it. He's been killing it offensively. And as we all know as well, the Kings, as just mentioned, they're on a second night of back-to-back, but also they're a fast-paced teams. They're really not a defensive team. They don't really have a top perimeter defender. So I'm going to be taking Mikal Bridges over 25.5 points for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to go to a points and assists category, and I'm going to be taking Killian Hayes over 19.5 points and assists versus the Nuggets. Now, this does have blowout written all over it. I think the point spread is like 12.5 or 13.5, somewhere around that line. It's a pretty big point spread. But Denver this season has been struggling, against opposing point guards, at least guarding them. As for the season, they're allowing the most assists per game and the fourth most points per game to opposing point guards. Now, these two teams did play once earlier this season, and Hayes ended with 18 points and assists as he was able to score 9 points and get 9 assists. Now, in this game, Detroit is dealing with a lot of injuries to pretty much all their main players. There's going to be no Bogdanovich, no Alec Burks, no Stewart. They have Jaden Ivey as doubtful, so he might not end up playing in this game as well. So they're pretty much going to need the scoring from someone. And I think Killian Hayes could be that guy. I know he's been struggling scoring wise throughout the season. He's not been able to put the ball in the basket. He's been struggling on that part of things. But assist wise, he's been getting it done. So either way, I like this spot for him to go over 19.5 points and assists. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to be going back to the points category, and I'm going to be taking an under. It might be an unpopular one, but I like this under here, and I'm going to be taking the under on SGA, 31.5 points versus the Raptors tonight. I know here he's been killing it, averaging 36 and going over in all of these previous 5 games. But as you guys can see, he hasn't really played a defensive minded team. He had Utah 2 times, the Warriors, Pelicans, Brooklyn. You could say after the trade deadline, they're a defensive minded team, but not like Toronto. I mean, as we know, Toronto is one of the top 10 defensive teams in the league. And in his career against the Raptors, and that is in 6 career games, he's only averaging 20.8 points per game, which is well below this 31.5 point line that they have him at. And they did play each other, these two teams, earlier this season. And Shea only ends up scoring 20 points. Now, over the last 15 games, the Raptors are allowing the least points per game to opposing point guards. Maybe he's, their shooting guard or whatnot. But either way, they have different bodies to throw at him. They have OG Anunoby. They have Gary Trent. And those kind of guys. Obviously they're not going to throw Siakam at him or anything like that, but they have different bodies to throw at him. So, and overall, like I said, they're a good defensive team. So I'm going to be taking the under on SGA's 31.5 points for tonight. I see this as a down spot for him. And for my fourth and last pick, I'm going to be going to the assist category. I'm going to be going down to the Magic and Suns game, and I'm going to be taking Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. Now, over his last 5 games, should I say, he is averaging 10.7, but he's only hit the over in 2 out of those 3 games. He did end up on the hook with 9 against OKC. And then the other 2, Milwaukee and Dallas, he had 7 and 8. Now, this season, the Magic are allowing the 6th most assists per game to opposing point guards. As we know, Chris Paul is more of a pass-first point guard than a shoot-first. He likes to get his teammates the ball at the right spot. They have the scorer in Devin Booker. They have Ayton down low to run the pick-and-roll game, pick and pop. So I expect, Paul to facilitate the ball more tonight, as he's been pretty much this whole season doing. And These two teams, Magic and the Suns, did play once this season, but Chris Paul did not play in that game. The last game he played against the Magic was last season, and he ended up with 15 assists in that game. So I think this is a good spot for him. They're at home, and in that game, the Magic pretty much kind of blew out the Suns. So I expect this to be a somewhat of a revenge game for the Suns. So that's going to be my top 4 picks for tonight's NBA slate of games. We're going to be taking on the over on all of them except SGA's points. And as always, if you agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So we're going to be placing a $5 entry for the possibility of winning $50. So I'm going to go ahead and place that entry. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Let's get